I just wanted to say good morning, everybody. Yo here from the Hockey World Order, baby. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the HWO, the Hockey World Order, with your host, Ricky O. Ricky Otazu, live from Nashville, Tennessee. I just wanted to come on and say hello to everybody. It's been a little while. I wanted to take a look at the first couple weeks of the New York Rangers season. I wanted to address some fans and some people on Facebook and Twitter who are coming at me pretty hard for my opinions, which they're my opinions, and I'm allowed to have them. That's what's great about this country. And I also wanted to say, as a show, get out and vote. The election's tomorrow. Don't be lazy. We need you. We are in trouble in this country, and we need everybody to come out and vote. So, with that being said, I want to discuss my views on the New York Rangers the first couple weeks of the season. Yes, they're 8-2-1. Yes, Igor Shesterkin is playing $15 million a year hockey. And that brings me to my next point. People are bashing Igor for asking for money. Listen, every athlete's going to ask for what they can get, and every athlete's going to ask for as much as they can get, which is fantastic. I don't think you can pay a goalie over $11.5 million in this year and still be a Stanley Cup contender. Now, with that being said, I also want to say that the New York Rangers, in my opinion, are not a Stanley Cup contender whatsoever. 2024, 2025, the New York Rangers will be lucky to make it to the second round of the playoffs. Everyone around them has gotten better. The Capitals are better. They crushed the Rangers the other night. The Devils are better, much better. And they haven't even hit their peak yet. Jack Hughes isn't even scoring goals yet. Everyone is better. The Rangers played the Islanders on Sunday the 3rd, a 1 o'clock start. They played an AHL team. And if it wasn't for Igor, they would have lost that game by 4 goals. There is no size to the New York Rangers. Peter Laviolette came in last year at the end of the season. He dressed Matt Rempe. He dressed Edstrom. And he gave us hope. He sold Rempe out this preseason. He sold Rempe out for Johnny Brzezinski. I don't understand if Chris Drury has a say in this. I don't understand if the Dolans have a say in this. But the New York Rangers are small. The New York Rangers are easily intimidated, and the New York Rangers are pushed around their own zone. I want to thank Sean Avery for finally having somebody to have the Quinones to come out and back up what I've been saying for 3 years, that K'Andre Miller is the softest New York Ranger in the history of the New York Rangers since Willie Huber. This gentleman is easily muscled off the puck. Again, I'll go into this. I've spoken to NHL scouts. I've spoken to people in the media, and they say the scouting report on K'Andre Miller is easily intimidated, easily outmuscled, and weak along the boards. That sums up the New York Rangers as a whole. Yes, we got guys that'll throw the body. Yes, I love Sam Carrick. Yes, I love Edstrom. I don't want Edstrom fighting. Yes, he had his first NHL fight. He did great. He busted some guy's head open against the Kraken. Edstrom's going to be a very good hockey player. I think Edstrom falls into the top 9 in the next year or two, a potential 15 to 22 goal scorer a year. Will Cooley has disappeared as far as physicality. He throws one check every 3 games, and Joe and Sam make it sound like he's the next coming of a human wrecking ball. He's not. Yes, he's talented. I love Will Cooley. He's one of my favorite Rangers. He's not a wrecking ball. He is not a heavyweight. He is not going to carry this team when push comes to shove. Dillon on the Devils. McDermott on the Devils. The Devils have heavyweights. The Washington Capitals still have Wilson and other guys that'll throw down like McElrath. The Flyers are still gigantic and want to fight every game. Not that fighting is going to win you Stanley Cups, but intimidation will lose you Stanley Cups. Which brings me to Peter Laviolette. Not a fan. Peter, everywhere you go, you have worn out your welcome in 3 years max, and you've worn out your welcome with me and the New York Rangers. I was in New York a couple weeks ago, had an opportunity to go to 2 games in the 4 days I was in New York City visiting my parents. I didn't go to any of them, either game. And people laughed at me. But I'm not going to a game where I know this team is a second-round exit. I'm not paying $175 to sit in the last row of an arena to watch the Rangers get out-muscled, out-hit, and out-physical every single night. Yeah, Jimmy Vesey's back. Big whoop. I like Jimmy Vesey. Jimmy Vesey's a good hockey player. I like Matt Rempe. I like size. I like the fact that we have a guy who can finally skate, albeit he took some penalties last year. We know he did, but you know what? Physically intimidated other people, physically intimidated other teams, changed the mindset of the NHL to have people go out and actually acquire people to match him physically. And what did we do? We took that weapon and we sent him to the AHL. He wants to play big minutes every night. Well, you know what? Early in an NHL season, when you're racking up points against inferior teams like the Kraken and teams like that, is when Rempe should be getting major NHL minutes. He shouldn't be in the AHL. I'm sorry. The AHL is doing him no good in his development. You need to play in the speed of the NHL. There's a difference. There's players that are, this is a baseball term. There's AAA and there's majors, and then there's AAA plus players. These are the guys that can come up for a week or two and fill in adequately and do the job and hit 275 and hit a home run and have 5 RBIs in 15 games. That's not Matt Rempe. Matt Rempe is going to be made into a machine. I cannot wait for 2 years from now when we look at signing day and they said, Matt Rempe has signed with the Philadelphia Flyers. That's my biggest nightmare. He's going to leave this organization. This guy is getting body armor commercials. This guy is the top-selling jersey in the NHL last year for his short period that he was up, and he's in the AHL for guys like Johnny Brzezinski, guys like Jimmy Vesey. Jimmy Vesey should play when someone in the top 9 is injured. I loved the fact that the New York Rangers' new kid on the block line with Will Cooley, Kakko, who takes a lot of crap, and he deserves every bit of the nonsense Kakko takes, is because he just refused to get his nose dirty, but this year he's doing it. And my man, Glass Heedle, as I call him, if this kid could ever stay healthy, he's going to put up 75 to 100 points. And so far this season, he's an example of he looks good. He looks really good. Stay healthy, right? But what does Laviolette do? Nobody on that line is less than a -8. They hadn't given up an even strength goal. He broke the lineup to get Mika Zibanejad going, because Mika Zibanejad has crapped the bed the entire season, looks terrible, looks old, looks disinterested. So he breaks up basically, I'm going to say line 1A, and he also broke up line 1 with Trocheck. He put Panarin with Zibanejad to try to get him going. And like I said, it's cater to teachers' pets. Don't cater to the needs of the team. K'Andre Miller needs to sit a game. Mika Zibanejad needs to be taught a lesson and said, you need to. I just don't understand it. But let's go back to the positives. Heedle's been on fire. Laviolette's on pace to score 30. Panarin is just lighting it up. Mancini's looked good when he's had time to play. Zach Jones has been fine. Ryan Lindgren's back. I guess everybody, me included, thought it was a shoulder. He got his jaw broken. Got hit with a good punch. But again, why is Ryan Lindgren fighting? Because we had nobody else to do it that night. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm calling you out, Pete. I don't like you. I never liked you, Peter Laviolette. I didn't like you in Nashville when you were down here in the Cup run. You get easily intimidated. You make rash decisions, and you're a bad coach. The NHL has a habit of recycling the 10 same coaches, and that's why you keep getting jobs. You, Tortorella, you guys just keep showing up. Lindy Ruff, it was Hitchcock for a while. It's Berube now. Just keep showing up. Keep getting fired, keep showing up somewhere. But it's okay. Do we have enough talent to put up 100 points on the season? We have enough talent to be 25 games over 500, 20 games. Igor will win the Vezina. And then we'll go in the playoffs, and we'll get out-muscled, out-hit by Boston, out-hit by Florida. We'll get intimidated, and we'll lose. And that's what it comes down to. I'm a realist, guys. You can hate me. I'm the realest guy in the room. I love being hated, as a matter of fact. I'm the #1 heel in the world. Should be heel world order, because I'm just talk the truth. I'm not a baby. I don't sit back and go, oh, the Rangers are so good, or this team is 8-1. No, they're not. Igor and it's just frustrating because Quick also, he was left out to dry. The defense has been terrible. The back check's been terrible. Listen, I said this last year. I want you to watch this. Chris Kreider is the worst player in the NHL within 2 feet of his own blue line. He cannot clear the puck out of his own zone. Adam Fox is having a great season so far, putting up a ton of assists and taking a ton of stupid penalties. The defense is taxed right now. They're hit constantly because our forwards are too small to slow up the oncoming forecheck, and are being forced to take hits. Trouba, the best part about Trouba this year, nobody's had to say his name. He's been severely consistent, and that's great. Schneider, fantastic. Again, Jones doing his job. Mancini doing his job. I don't have a problem with the defense the way it's built. I like it. Don't sleep on the defense and the goaltending. Sleep on the forwards. It's a shit show. I hated the signing of Smith. Oh, he's going to get so-and-so going. It took 2 weeks to get him taken off the top line. Where's the comments on that? Where's Larry Brooks? I love Larry. Larry's my favorite person in the world. I love Larry. I think he does a great job of covering the Rangers. I think the rest of the organization at the New York Post is terrible as far as covering the Rangers. Molly is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Where's the calling out of Mika? Where's the calling out on Smith? Where's the call last year? But I believe he's injured. A great start. Great start. Let's go. Kreider, best deflection guy in the NHL in the last 20 years. Can't get the puck out of his own zone. When's the last time Chris Kreider was physical with anyone? It was PK Subban in the 3 years ago when he hurt Sammy Blais, and then he cheap-shotted Ryan Reeves, and Kreider went after PK Subban. Since then, his hands have been glued in his gloves. A power forward needs to establish his power every once in a while. You know what? Like Steven Stamkos, because Steven Stamkos drops his gloves, throws punches, wins or loses, and establishes that extra 2 feet of intimidation. Corey Perry's like 164 years old. He's out there having fights like you wouldn't believe in the NHL. He's a grinder. He walked into Edmonton, all of a sudden, and Edmonton ended up in the Cup final last year. Brought an attitude to the team. We don't have that. We have Matt Rempe sitting in Hartford in a mall. I don't understand. What are we going to call him up? You called him up to fight McElrath? That's the stupidest thing in the world. The kid could fight. Who cares he could fight? He needs to go out there and establish his legs. Get his forecheck going. Get the guy playing. Get him going. Get him 4 or 5 points early in the season against teams like the Kraken. Get him 4 or 5 points against a horrible Detroit team. We just mopped the floor with Detroit. You're telling me he couldn't have played 7 minutes in those games? I'm disappointed. There's no development in this organization. This is why we lose players. This is why we have never been a continuous Stanley Cup contender, and the only cup we won was from the players that were developed outside of the organization. Steve Thomas, Mark Messier, Adam Graves. They're not Rangers. They were additions to the Rangers. They're great Rangers in Ranger lore. They're not Rangers. They think it's next on the horizon. Bedard, I love the kid. He's 5'7", if that. And he's Ottoman, not going to get a chance to play because we refused to trade Kakko, which is okay because the line's doing great so far, and the kid's showing a little bit of hustle. Now, I got these fake Stan Twitter writers out there blasting Igor for asking for all his money. If I was Igor Shesterkin, I wouldn't sign for less than $15 million on this team because there's somebody out there that's going to give him money. I mean, is it a waste? It's an absolute waste. You're not going to win with your goalie taking up 10% or more of the cap. But who on this team is a star besides him? Name one, because Zibanejad's not a star anymore. Panarin is a star. Kreider's a star, but like a A-. We don't have an A-plus player other than Igor. Panarin's out on the fence because when it comes to playoffs, he becomes a B- C player. Igor's not. Igor stays as a A+. I want A+ money. I can't even believe that people would criticize the guy. Is he going to get it? I don't doubt it. I don't think he's going to get more than 11.5, which I still think is too much. You know, there's a situation. People always want to say Henrik Lundqvist is always innocent in something. Do you remember when Henrik Lundqvist demanded money on his last contract with the Rangers and we couldn't sign Chara? The Rangers were looking at signing Chara, but with the extra $2 million a year Hank took, we couldn't do it. That's the difference between winning a Stanley Cup and losing to a team like LA. We would have had a Chara back there with Hank and Girardi and McDonough. You have 4 solid, great defensemen. You're not having to play an Anton Stroman or Stu Bickle and people like that. You don't understand that. That extra $2 million, hey, signing a player is the difference between a $3 million and a $5 million defenseman. That's a huge difference in the NHL. Goaltending, A+. Defense, going to give you your grades right now. Miller, D-. Zach Jones, C. Schneider, B+. Trouba, B+. Fox, B+. Lindgren, incomplete. Well, actually, I give Lindgren a B-. He's played enough games now at this point. Mancini, B. My forwards, Zibanejad, D. Kreider, B. Smith, B minus, maybe a C plus. Lafreniere, B plus. Trocheck, B plus. Heedle, A. Kako, B minus. Cooley, C. Edstrom, B. Carrick, B. And anybody on that right side, a C minus to a D, because I can't stand Johnny Brzezinski. Little people don't belong in hockey in today's day and age. Unless you're a Cole Caulfield, unless you're somebody like a Suzuki, unless you're somebody like a Brian Bedard, you can't be 5'7" and playing on a fourth line. It's a joke, especially when you're an AHL regular. November 4th, Ranger Rant. Get out and vote tomorrow. Make this country great again. Make the hockey world order great again. Please give me a like and follow on Facebook. Give me a like and follow on my YouTube page. Tons of vintage hockey fights, wrestling. I need you guys. Hockey World Order at yahoo.com. Reach out, send me a message, help share the videos, help me get this word out. See you in the end of next week. I'll probably make this a regular Monday afternoon segment. Everybody be safe, be aggressive, get out and vote. Let's save this country, make this country great again.